Hello and welcome to Weaving the Magic. This is Kelly, and this video today is about the archetype of the Magician in the Tarot. This is the second card of the Major Arcana, but card number 1. I'm going to do my best to unpack the symbolism, the meaning behind the strength in the archetype of the Magician. And I'm currently going through a lot of my own shifts with this archetype. So forgive me as I pause and move through things and recall and bring things up. But I'm just going to dive in and go with what's calling to me. First off the bat, I want to point out this card here is the Coleman artwork, the Rider Waite deck. That color yellow is screaming at me today because as I work with the archetype of the Magician, it's all about the solar plexus, and that is represented with the color of yellow. And this is like our powerhouse. This is our self derived power, our will, our it's it sits above our creative force in the sacral, but it almost, I don't want to say rules or governs, but it either draws out and calls forth passionately or weighs heavily upon the creative force within each of us. So, this is strongly linked to the solar plexus energy. And it's also strongly linked to a few different things. The planet of Mercury, for one, also the planet of Uranus. And I'll do my best to weave all of the symbolism here. But yellow and Mercury, I'm not even sure that there's a tie. Somebody let me know if there is. I'd love to know. Everything is interrelated, but I'm not sure about that specific color. Either way, Mercury in astrology is the messenger. It's the planet of communication. This is like into Hermes. It's like into Thoth. It's all the scribe. It's the communicator. It's information. And the Magician card is all about using the elements to communicate your intention with the universe. It's not about controlling the universe, it's about having a conversation. And it's about having a conversation about perspective, correct perspective. Help me see that I am the vehicle in which the universe can communicate my means. Help me realize the direction that I want to travel, the things that I want to know. If you're experimenting, which we are as human beings, if you're experiencing the experiment of being a human being and seeing what happens when I am in this situation with these people at this time and place, under these circumstances, with these feelings, that's what we're doing here. That's like almost like science, but also we're not necessarily aware of it and there's not necessarily a goal of it. So it's more of just like a mad scientist. It's more of like um this this polar bear here. I love this because right now that's where I'm at. Where I've been for a long time has been in the, this energy feels darker to me. Has been in the like grasping for control type of magician where it's like I so badly want to um see myself the way that I wish I saw myself. And for such a long time, I believed that if I could exert control over the outer situations to get my life in the right way so that I could show up in my best light, then it would be good. But it's been a long time coming, and right now, like this very powerful carry through realization, like unburdening of shame, even about that it's not how it works, sweet love. It's not the way that it works. You can't ever change all of the outer situations. You could, maybe you could, but you'll spend your whole life trying. And the better way to do it, the more magical, the more enjoyable way to do it, as these two magician cards are really strongly depicting, this one too, but is to like intend and then relax and let the flow happen. Like find yourself in the flow. This one. Find yourself in the flow. Look at him with this like the lemniscate up here, this infinite 8, the magic of the universe like being woven, unwoven, rewoven. And it's like I'm holding all the tools And I'm holding my arms open, like allowing myself to receive. Like I'm dressed up in my fancy best, expecting the romance of the universe to delight me by carrying to me all of my passionate intentions in fruition. Like, in other words, if I fall in love with the universe, if I fall in love with existence, if I fall in love with the absolute fact that the universe feels my vibrational intention, because I am equipped, I am a tool that was structured and built in the ways of being human, that is the perfect transmitter receiver for the vibrations of the universe to figure out how it wants to create itself in the image and the likeness of what? I am that. I am the magician. And when I recognize that, really recognize that, not intellectually, when I recognize that with a very pure, passionate, open heart. This is the white in the robe here and the red as well. All these flowers and everything, the lilies and the roses, this is all like passion, it's purity, it's heart, it's not about manipulating anything. It's about learning to direct your self will. It's about self control, but control is the wrong word. It's about self monitoring, which brings me back to this card here with, oh my gosh, there's so many layers of symbolism. Let's just go simple. The fact that this focus is coming out of his eyes, this is all about perspective. We have the most personal power in what our perspective is. What is the lens through which we're viewing the world? Is the world a horrible, bad, scary place, or is the world loving and kind and generous? Right there makes or breaks half of your life circumstances in the way they initially show up. This might be loud. Okay. I just kind of wanted to not try to scream over that as much as I could. So it's all about perspective. And what is very amazing, interesting, so fantastic, and I'm glad that this was just pointed to me to bring up here, is the Aries energy, the self energy, how much the magician is linked to the ego, and how demonized even the word control or even the word manipulate, those two words have bad associations. They shouldn't. It's not a terrible thing to want, like, control in an experiment helps you know whether you have the correct reportings and findings or not, right? Control in an environment like an oven helps you know how long it's going to take to bake something. So control isn't a terrible concept in and of itself. Abuse of that power or incorrect use of that power or a lack of awareness of that power, giving that power away to someone else, this is what makes control and manipulation and things like that bad words that people don't want to use. Words, by the way, linking into Mercury again. Because this magician knows how to use words to assert itself, its ego's desires, its wants, maybe even its soul's desires. Why not? It's all about the magic. I want to take a closer look at this card because I honestly have not spent a lot of time with this. And there's going to be layers and layers of wow. I love, 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 love how this card, this is like an act of both power and submission on both characters' parts here. In this cosmology, this is the William Blake tarot. William Blake had a whole cosmology, like mythology makeup of all these different characters, but this is like the god figure here, and this is a human being that's both like, yes, I bow to the omniscience that exists outside of me because I, in my human form, don't have omnipresence. I don't have all of the correct perspective. But in my surrender, divinity bows to me, bestows its powers upon me, shines the light upon me, and imbues me with fire, with spirit, so that I can create because I'm a creator, because I'm a magician, because I'm magic. We were given an ego to come here and play and enjoy and create and do this dance. and to manipulate and to control and to call in our power and to play and experiment in those dynamics. What I know for me is that just like any other card in the tarot, it shows us an area of our life in which we can either come into right relationship with our power or not. And this magician card is very drenched in the power dynamic conversation. Again, the number one being singularity, like ego, self. It's me, it's mine. This is my world, this is my projection, which means you can't claim victimhood if you are in charge of everything. Um, and if you dominate everything else, then you'll be alone at the top. It makes you question and consider, like, what is my right relationship to power and control? Is it me and myself? Am I moderating myself, not controlling? Am I trying to control myself? Are parts of me resisting that self control? What is my relationship with my will? Do I have no willpower? Do I have no ambition to get up? Do I feel like I don't have any power? These are all of the questions that arise when this card is drawn in any kind of spread. It's always talking about a power dynamic. Like here, something about this makes me want to talk about like just twin flames briefly, because a lot of times people hand their power away to other people in love relationships, and I've been guilty of charged so many times in the past of that, and not guilty. I had to learn those lessons, not because I was being punished for not having known them, but because it was an experience of an experiment that I wanted to move through. How long will it take me to figure out that I don't need to give someone else the power to make me happy or not, to give me permission or inspiration to do something or not, to choose what I want for my life? So this card isn't directly related to choices, but it is talking about the power to choose for yourself, the power to direct your will towards some ends, towards some means, um, and that your will and intention is mirrored, magnified, listened to, heard, felt, understood, orchestrated by the divine. And I love that so many of these figures are staring like straight on, or this one's with eyes closed, this one's with surrender, this one's in a dance. This one's very much focused on the fire here. And again, I'd say this is like the darkest energy type of card that is in this layout here. But all of them are focused on the here right now, which is another point of the magician. Like, all of your power is right here right now. It's not in the future. It's not in the past. It's right here, right now. It's in your hands. It's in your heart. It's in your eyes. It's in your perspective. Where are you fixed? Are you flowing, dancing? Are you defensive? Are you surrendering? Are you open? Are you aware? Are you observing? Are you reading the signs? Are you paying attention? Are you seeing yourself mirrored in everything else in existence? Because for as much as this is the number one card, that infinity symbol that shows up reminds, and so does the position of the body of this magician, as above, so below. Anything that's happening externally is also happening internally. Anything that's a frustration or a blissful beauty, any of those things is mirroring something for me to experiment with and experience, because I'm on a journey, a magician's journey, a fool's journey, or a hero's journey, depending on how I choose to see it. And I have all of the tools, and my one goal, my one aim is to develop my magic, to become the magician, to not control my life, but to direct my will and have faith and trust that the laws of the universe reciprocate that energy, that you have everything it takes to communicate effectively with the universe, and that you can trust if a desire was put in you, that the universe is on board with the experiment of carrying that out. It doesn't guarantee success. It doesn't guarantee anything. It just means that you're alive, that you're living, that you're on the journey and that you're awake and aware of your magic. And at the very least, if the universe wants anything, it wants to experience everything that could be experienced. So I think our awakening to our power after we've been unaware of it for so long is only just a logical additional desire that the universe has. So the magician is asking you to pay attention, listen. What are you being called to do? Put your focus there. Close your eyes to everything else. Open them to your power. Choose something and direct your will. Do it with purity and intention and focus, clear communication, with the knowing that new things can happen. The journey can change. Cycles aren't doomed to be repeated exactly the same way. We can set our intentions and allow that to move the universe as the universe moves us. So I think I'm going to end it there. If you have any comments or things that you'd like to add or share, or your experience with this magician archetype in your life, I'd love to read those comments. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd appreciate the like and the subscribe and all that jazz of the blah, blah, blahs and the social media and whatnot. And if you're not, then, just give me a comment if you'd like. Otherwise, I'm glad you enjoyed it if you did. Thank you very much. You have a great day.